It is Wednesday, August 12th, 2026. This is another edition of Baseball Today presented to you by T-Mobile. That is my man, Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose, producer Dan along for the ride as well. School started today for the kiddies, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, Teddy is starting today. My daughter Isla starts next week, so he's in his uniform. First time he's ever had to wear a uniform for school, which is great because just, decision fatigue, right? And now he doesn't have to do that. He just wakes up, puts on his uniform, and goes. So
is he allowed to at least change the color of the shirt?
Yeah. I mean, barely. That's red, white, and black. Those are the colors.
A lot of repeats.
Yeah, it's good. I had uniforms growing up, and I loved it. It's the best.
Yeah, we didn't have to wear. We had a standard. It wasn't a full uniform.
Sure.
But boy, I wore a lot of corduroy pants in my day back in high school in suburban Cleveland, Ohio. That was rough. And speaking of uniform, people are going to think I have to wear a uniform because I'm wearing a black collared shirt for the second straight day. It's a different shirt. Don't worry. I'm not one of those guys that wears it till it really stinks, because there are some of those people who do that,
Your biceps popping out right there, huh?
That's all right. It's just a little. Yeah, that's true. We're trying. We're trying so hard over here. Just can't stop the eating. That's the problem. My trainer's like, dude, I said, he asked me, we have time for one more exercise. What do you want to do? I said, abs. I want to work on getting that down. He goes, that's diet, moron.
Yeah. Abs are made in the kitchen, Rose. Yeah. Everyone knows that.
100%. Let's get to it. Tip of the cap. Boy, are the Rays on a run. They've won 8 in a row. Last night, I think they hit 6 or 7 home runs out in Sacramento. Now, Taylor Walls, cute. Good job. Taylor Walls had not hit a home run in his first 96 games played this year. So he said twice is nice.
When you move into your new building. Taylor Walls from the left side earlier and the right side now. A 2-homer game. 7-2 Rays.
Okay, so is it worth going the first 4 months of the season without hitting a home run as long as you hit one from each side of the plate in a game?
No, you want to be hitting homers all the time. It's pretty, funny that it comes where Sacramento. When we do our blasts of the week, it's either in Sacramento or Colorado. So, you go in there, you need to hit one. I'm happy you hit 2.
Don't you have to call games up there soon?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, make sure that you don't have like a dinner reservation or a flight to catch, because those games, those are not speedy.
I think I do. I think I'm coming straight from there to New York for our floor ball.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You better get a backup flight, brother.
I better start stretching is what I need to start doing.
You better. This is not floor ball, taxing on your body.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We're going to jump start it in the National League Central. While Milwaukee's West Coast swing has started off with a West Coast swoon, they have lost back-to-back games against the Padres. PCA was punching his ticket in our nation's capital.
Hammer to right. That one is deep, and it is gone. Oh, baby. Off the facade. Absolutely crushed.
Yeah, you got that right, Boog. Dude is on his way to a 30-30 season. So a couple of the Cubs win with the Padres beating up on the Brewers, and Chicago's deficit, don't know if you've checked the standings, just 4 games in the National League Central. Have we hit panic time for the Brew Crew yet?
There's no such thing as panic for the Brewers. First of all, they still hold the best record in all of baseball. I understand the division, the 4 games back. It's interesting. Can the Cubs catch the Brewers? Sure. The Cubs go from there to play. The Brewers go from San Diego to play the Dodgers, which is, okay. But if you watch that team, they're a great team. They're going to be in the postseason. Do they want a bye? I don't know. I don't think it matters anymore. Bye, no bye, it doesn't really matter. Do you want it? Okay, yeah, you do, because it gets you to the next round. That's the only reason. This team is so freaking good. I just sat and watched them 3 days play against my Twins, and they do everything exceptionally well. I've talked about their homers, and that being their only flaw. They hit some homers. They can do that. Will it show up in the postseason? I'm not sure. If you're a Brewers fan, you're just really enjoying what you're seeing on the field. Are you worried about the division? A little bit, but again, you're going to be in October. It's more about making sure you're healthy, set up for that. So if I'm a Brewers fan, I'm absolutely loving where my team is at. I think this is more like, hey, Cubs, like this is awesome. You need to get going. You had a great deadline, and more like giving the Cubs credit than being worried if I'm a Brewers fan.
Yeah, I think that it says a lot about the Cubs. I thought that they did a great job, Jed Hoyer and his crew, of kind of revamping their pitching staff on the fly. They needed to, and I think they've made themselves a viable contender for the National League crown. I really believe that. I think once Palencia comes back, and I know that he was in doing his rehab outings. He wasn't in rehab. Sorry, didn't mean to put that out there. But he was doing his rehab outings. And so I don't know. I kind of lost track. I know last week was his first one. So I think he's inching closer to that, a return to the big leagues, hopefully. That will be an enormous leap forward for that entire team. But they added enough veterans where they're going to have plenty of guys down the stretch who can help them as a starter, as a reliever, and particularly when we get to October. I am curious what you think of Milwaukee's rotation now once we do get to October, because it'll be Miz in no particular order. It'll be Miz, Logan Henderson, Kyle Harrison, who does not want to pitch on the West Coast anymore because he's had 2 horrible starts, and everywhere else he's really been great, and then Dustin May. So that is your top 4. How do you feel about that?
I mean, they have a bunch of different guys they can kind of mix and match. They have a Chad Patrick who can go back and forth between. They have such a deep bullpen. I'm not worried about it. I'm really not worried about it. Run prevention is their thing, Chris. They will get the job done there. I'm not worried about it at all.
So if you were to rank the 3 teams that we think are going to win the division, and I'm not even 100% sure on the Brewers, because the Cubs and the Brewers play 7 times over a 10-day stretch starting on August 31st. So that's a blast for baseball fans. I don't care who you root for. That stuff is going to be great. Who's it most important for to get the bye? Atlanta, the Dodgers, or the Brewers?
It's a good question. I mean, again, it's important for everyone for one specific reason, that you get to advance in the playoffs already. Like, you skip around, okay?
Right.
Setting up your bullpen or setting up your pitching staff and a little bit of rest for your bullpen is another plus of getting that bye. You get to choose who you start. It doesn't just kind of go with how the season ends. And maybe somebody that third team might be able to do that depending on how big their lead is. So I think for those 3 teams, I'd go Atlanta.
I think so too.
Yeah, because you want Sale to pitch as much as possible.
Exactly. But I am very close on Milwaukee because they won't go anywhere. If Miz has to pitch game 1 of the wild card, let's say, if the Cubs, well, let's just say whether they win the division and they finish 3rd, or
they
Cubs
usually put their number 1 guy to the second game in the wild card. Isn't that what they've been doing?
Some teams do. Some teams opt to do that, and I can understand it, right? Either you're saving the season or you're trying to close out a series in game 2. It does make a lot of sense. But if you're playing the long game, then you're pushing a guy back a day, and that could cost you in the divisional round. But once again, you got to win the wild card or there is no divisional round. So this is fun. Leave us a comment about which of these teams, and you can even throw the Cubs in there too, because, I mean, the Cubs have had this hard charge and are just 4 games back in the division and have really solidified themselves as a top wild card throughout the second half of the season. So the 4 teams are Milwaukee, Chicago, Atlanta, LA. Give us an order on importance of getting one of those 2 buys, okay? And give us a one-liner as to why. You've been doing a good job in the comments section, okay? Fun stuff, though. Man, PCA's had a hell of a year. God dang it, man. You think he regrets signing that extension?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I think that guys who get that extension and have a peace of mind, like, that helps your play as well.
I don't know. I've talked to a ton of guys who actually said they feel more pressure because they feel like they owe it to the organization and the city.
I think that's when you come in and you're a free agent. That's the difference. If you're in your organization and they give you an extension, it's a different type of pressure. If you come in and you don't have the equity, the sweat equity,
Yes.
I think that's the difference.
I think that is true, but I've also talked to guys who have played their entire career in one place, got extended, and then they're like, man, I don't want to let people down.
6 years, 115.
Light.
God, that's light for you, Pete.
Light.
Oh my God.
Who did that? I'm kidding.
10, 10, 10.8, 20, 30, 30.8, all those. It's nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's crazy we're talking about money.
It's light. People can understand. Don't give me the whole wall.
The value that Pete gives is more than that contract. Yes.
It's light.
I know. We have to, talking big numbers, it messes up everyone's brain. It just needs to be relative. You have to think about relative to your skill set. So whatever you do for work, you're the best at it, and you're getting paid maybe like you're just good at it.
Right. It's light.
But then people are like, shut the fuck up.
Well, of course, because we hear these ridiculous numbers and you're like, well, why are you guys saying it? Well, because this is our job. We cover the sport. This is the sport we cover. And so relatively speaking, it's light. And I'm not going to get off that. All right. Look, I've been married almost 30 years. With that, we've lived in 5 different houses since 1999. That means stuff goes wrong. And so Michelle looks at me and she goes, okay, got to fix this. And I go, no, I don't. I don't have the skill set and I want it done right. So when your to-do list keeps growing, TaskRabbit is ready to help. Just pick a trusted tasker. They're going to show up and they're going to get it done. And taskers are often available to help the very same day. Not one of those where you call a place, you're like, yeah, I could be there a week from Thursday. You can't. I'm going to have a hole in my house this size. That's no good. Well, TaskRabbit connects you with skilled taskers for moving, furniture assembly, home repairs, yard work, mounting, basically anything that keeps getting pushed to the bottom of that list. And taskers have already assembled over 3.4 million pieces of furniture, completed 700,000 home repairs, handled 1.5 million moves. This is a platform with a real track record. So when life happens, your to-do list grows. Get ahead of it now. Get $15 off your first task at TaskRabbit.com or on the TaskRabbit app. Use the promo code BASEBALL today. Taskers, they book up fast, especially for same-day tasks. So book trusted home help today. That is $15 off your first task using the promo code BASEBALL today with TaskRabbit app or at TaskRabbit.com. I need all the help I can get around the house.
I've used TaskRabbit before.
Yeah. I mean, are you kidding me? Shell says, we definitely need this. Tried to put a mirror up recently on the wall. Didn't go great. Needed to call some help. Should have called right in the beginning. Should have used an opener.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah. There's some things, take care of yourself. Some things, just give a call to TaskRabbit.
All right, up next, the place where Plouffe has on his hat. L.A., Los Angeles. Dodgers make it 2 straight over the Kansas City Royals. They get a walk-off courtesy of Max Muncy. But the big news was the return of Blake Snell, who made one single start at the beginning of May. We hadn't seen him for 3 months. So let's see how his first inning went right out of the gate.
Maybe try some more paint. Or that. The Cambio to get Lofton in his first K.
Must-see player.
Snell sits him down on 3. Snellzilla strikes out the side in his return to the bump.
I think the biggest thing was just being aggressive, be in the zone, attack. I know how good my stuff is, so I didn't want to just be nibbling and then, complaining like, oh, it's a strike. I don't want to do any of that again like I did in Atlanta, or versus Atlanta. And then, the strike out the side was good, but it's just keeping the pace, keeping the velo where I needed to be. Feeling strong, like those things mattered a lot to me. So to be able to do that for 6 innings and feel like I had more left, I'm excited about that.
What were you giggling about?
I just have so many fun memories of Blake Snell. Rookie when I was in Tampa Bay, when we started this show for the real Baseball Today fans, and we used to go on Instagram Live. Who was always in our chat? It was our guy Snellzilla. And, he's like 2-time Cy Young Award winner And I really we appreciate the support. At the time, we were getting this thing going.
Heck yeah. Longo was in it, if I remember correct.
Longo's hilarious too.
So his line last night, divine. 1 run, 3 hits, 6 innings, 10 Ks, 1 walk. He looked, remember on yesterday's show, we talked about Tarek Skubal and how he just feels all over the place in his 2 starts as a Dodger, particularly on Monday night. In the meantime, Blake Snell, I don't think people appreciate how challenging it is to miss 3 months and look like this. Oh, hello, Isla.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Are we ready for school for next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's it. That's all
They're hustling out the door. Teddy's got to go to school.
Oh, okay.
That's
all
a
right.
new thing for us. We have a little bit of a drive now to a school. It used to be literally 2 minutes from us, like down the street from our house. We had a golf cart to it. Now it's different. Sorry, everyone.
It's okay. I shed a tear for you. So let's get back to this. How tough it can be for somebody to be out 3 months and look like this.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, you're not agreeing with me.
because you're throwing and you got rehab starts and all that, and plus he is a veteran. This is a guy who's literally been through it all, every phase of baseball. So for him to come back in the middle of the season, I don't think the nerves are necessarily there. Is it impressive to do what he did? Yes, but again, I think the nerves are more like excited than, hey man, like I don't want to go mess this up. So I don't know. It wasn't a very impressive line. He looked great. I think if you're a Dodger fan, you're super stoked that he's back. If you're a Dodger player, I think you understand what he means to your team. So yeah, it was very impressive to say the least.
Okay, so they're starting to get people back. Glasnow, it sounds like, isn't far away. Will Smith sounds like he might even take on-field batting practice shortly. We haven't seen him since June, I believe. He's had that neck injury. So I'm going to give you a 3-person what-if question-ish. What-if-ish. Or most important-ish. Who is it most important that they return to form or just return? Blake Snell, who made his return last night. Mookie Betts, who had a home run and a double last night, that he returns to some form of Mookie, not an MVP Mookie, but certainly not what he's been the last couple of years, or just Will Smith, period.
I think it's Blake Snell. I do. If you go back to, because this is all about the postseason, right? What do we say about the Dodgers? It's about the postseason.
Yep.
Regular season, great. I mean, it's kind of sucks for Dodger fans. Go have fun at the ballpark, but your season starts in October. I guess that doesn't suck. That's where you want to be at as an organization and a fan base. But you go back to last postseason. It was Snell. He started game 1 of the wild card. He started game 1 of the CS, and he started game 1 of the World Series. You're getting your game 1 starter in the playoffs back. And until the World Series, he had great starts up until the World Series, and the Blue Jays got him twice.
Mm-hmm.
They ended up pitching game 7 as well. Just like an inning and a third is what he got in there. But a proven postseason starting pitcher coming back is more important than Will Smith means a lot. There's no doubt about it. We know about the catching depth. He's a huge piece of that offense, but they got a lot of guys that can hit in that lineup. Mookie Betts, they've been doing fine with this version of him. Would they like him to get back to somewhat of an MVP form? Sure. But the most important thing that we can do in the postseason is have a guy like Blake Snell in the rotation. So it's got to be him for me.
Yeah, his first 3 rounds last year through the wild card, the divisional, and then the NLCS, 21 innings pitched. He allowed 6 hits while striking out 28. Did walk a few. I think
Well, that's Blake Snell.
But yeah, he's great. I think it's Will Smith because right now they're down to their 3rd and 4th catchers, really. You could even make an argument a little lower than that when they have to start their backup to the backup to the backup to the backup. And I know that Will Smith's got like a sub 700 playoff OPS, but got a pretty big homer. Pretty big homer. They made a freaking bobblehead out of it earlier this year. And I can't imagine what he means to that entire pitching staff. A veteran like that. Look, this bullpen has struggled in the second half. It really has struggled. And so How much of a role, a calming influence does he add? I'd be curious to go talk to some people. But it's interesting that we both put Mookie Betts a distant third in this.
I mean, yeah, I think you really could go either answer, or all of the answers. They all make sense. We're talking about three.
I don't think Mookie does.
I think three very, very good baseball players to great baseball players. So, like, are they important to your roster? Yeah, like any of them are. I just will side with the starting pitching almost every single time.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a clear cut between Snell and Smith, and let us know in the comments section where you sit with that, Dodger fans in particular.
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on that. Like last year, Mookie got it going second half, and kind of like, he ended up still putting a 4.9 WAR season up, despite a 732 OPS, and he got going at the end of the year, and maybe we'll see that again this year.
Maybe, you know what, as I rethink it, maybe the better way to ask the question would have been like, who can you least afford to not have there in October?
I'm going to cherry pick a date here because that's what we're going to do for Mookie.
Did you even hear what I asked?
Oh, I didn't, because I'm doing stats. What's up?
I could see it. I saw it in your brain. I saw the gears go, and I was like, there's no way he's listening to me right now. Listen to me. You only need to listen to me 47 minutes a day. Focus. I asked, maybe the proper way to ask the question is, who can you least live without? Like, who would you miss the most out of those three in October?
That's a tough question right there. You went out and got Tarek Skubal.
Right.
So if you're going to Yamamoto, Tarek Skubal, Shohei Ohtani, Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, Justin Robleski, that's nice. So maybe if we're talking 903 OPS Mookie in his last 37 games, that's a different type of ball player. Okay, we're just getting all over the place. They're all very important. I still will stick with my answer that getting a prime Blake Snell game one type starter back is the most important thing.
Okay, there you go. Everybody answer in the comments section. I like it. I like it way better the way I phrased it.
37 games.
Yes.
At the end of last year, 310, 372, 531. He had 8 homers, 26 runs driven in for the 903 OPS. Got his season kind of going back. I don't really remember. Did he have like the postseason? That I don't really remember what he did in the postseason.
No, I think the last couple years. Well, 2024, I thought he was good. 2025, I'm not so sure.
Well, all right. Well, check it out. Okay. In the wild card, he went 6 for 9. Nice. Then he went 4 for 17. Not great in the DS. And the CS, 2 for 15. World Series, 4 for 29.
Yeah, that's not good.
It's no homers.
Wow. There you go. Look, people, baseball season is a grind. When you're bouncing between games and studios and flights, real food is usually the first thing to go. I can attest to that. Well, Factor makes sure it doesn't have to be. Factor makes chef-crafted, dietitian-designed, ready-to-eat meals so you don't have to choose between real food and convenience. With over 175 banned ingredients, every meal, it is designed around what supports a healthier lifestyle. Nothing that doesn't belong. And 97% of users agree that Factor meals help them live a healthier life. Over 100 menu items each week. They're ready in just 2 minutes. There's no prep. There's no cleanup. I love it when I open the fridge. I see the Factor meals. I have talked about this ad nauseum. Middle of the day. Toughest part for me. I'm fine with my shake in the morning. I'm fine with my dinner at night. Middle of the day, I am going Factor. Where are you? I see it. I punch a couple of holes. I set it up 2 minutes, 2 seconds, because I do that funky thing on the microwave, and my belly is ready to consume. It's so nice. So let's eat real. Head on over to factormeals.com/today, 50 off. Use the code TODAY50OFF. You're going to get 50% off and 1 free breakfast item per box for 1 year. That's while supplies last until Halloween. October 31st of 2026. That code, once again, today 50 off, factormeals.com. Today 50 off, factormeals.com. See the website for more details. Yum, yum.
Did you say
All right, time right now.
What were you thinking about right there?
What do you mean?
I heard you say the word breast. Yes.
Probably chicken breasts.
Mm-hmm. Is that what you're thinking about? Okay.
Yeah. So what were you thinking? Oh, Trevor Plouffe.
Don't ask what I was thinking about right there. You don't want to hear it.
Hey now. It's time right now for Packing the Park, where we look at players and storylines, getting fans into stadiums. It is brought to you by our friends on over at SeatGeek. They always pack it up there in Toronto. Doesn't matter how they're playing. But let's remember, they are the defending American League champions. It looked like they did a big sell job at the trade deadline, but have you seen who's on a heater?
The 2-2. And a broken bat ground ball to third. McAdoo on to first, and the Blue Jays win it. They find a way again.
That is right, legendary Dan Shulman. They find a way again. By the way, Adley Rutschman in his Red Sox debut makes the last out of the game. Stinks. Not fun. All right, so the Blue Jays have won 9 of 13. They're in this thing. How energized should this fan base be, even after trading some big names?
Everyone's got a shot in the American League.
I want to focus on them.
Well, that's why you should be energized. Any other season, I'd be saying a different line there. I'd say probably not too energized. But 9 of 13, they're in the middle of a 17 in a row game stretch, which is a lot. So what you're seeing out of this team right now, it's like a bullpen that's super stretched. The offense really hasn't still found its way. We got guys like Brett Bateman coming up, having big swings for them, which is really cool because this is gut check time for a lot of teams. These are the dog days, people. So yes, did they sell some pieces off? They did, but they also brought in some pieces. It was an interesting deadline for them, changing Soriano's pitch mix and making him throw his curveball a million times. Like, that's cool, and he's been great. So they have a chance. Like, how excited should you be? I think there's hope. I think there's hope. There's a lot of I'm trying to put this in a Lord of the Rings.
Oh boy.
I am. Sometimes when all hope is lost, that's when you find out who the bravest are, and you keep going. And sometimes you find the light at the end of the tunnel. Am I counting the Blue Jays out of a postseason spot? I am not. Because they're 2.5 games back of one right now. And it doesn't matter, who's getting the job done. Are you getting the job done? And right now they are. So do I have them in the postseason right now? If I'm like, hey, I'm going to pick my 6 AL teams, do I have the Blue Jays in? I do not. But that doesn't mean they can't get in there, Chris. If, offenses can turn around with a snap of a finger, with one Vladimir Guerrero freaking Jr. BP session. All of a sudden, the light bulb goes on. He's that type of player. So, I don't know. Be hopeful, Toronto fans.
They're 2.5 out of the wild card chase. Okay. So they got news that Trey Savage needs knee surgery. They're not counting him out for the year, but my goodness. 6 weeks left. I'm not so sure how that happens. But, then again, we had somebody do something to Scooble's elbow, and he's back throwing like 48 hours later. So I guess I'm not going to put it past.
Just get one of those robot doctors in there. You'll be all right.
Look, they've got Max Scherzer planned to pitch every 5 days. It's great, right? It's great. We love him. We love his competitiveness. He freaking knows every rule in the sport, obviously. But I don't know if that's good for a team that is in contention. I don't know. Look, we're going to know an awful lot. They're in the midst of a 4-game series against Boston, which has gone fine so far. And it ends up being, 13 straight against the top 3 teams in the AL East. So they get the Yankees for 2 series, and they get Tampa sandwiched in between it. That's what their 2 weeks looks like. We're going to find out an awful lot about them. I think if through those 13 games, if they went 7-6, I think they'd sign up for that with that gauntlet. And I think they'll still be in it if they go 7-6. Now, if they go 4-9, look, they already got 2 wins in the bank. So if they go 2-9 the rest of the way, that's going to be a problem. But I love it. I love the energy that place has. I hope that Bieber pitches well and remains healthy. I'm curious about what Soriano brings to them. And I would like to see Vladdy hit a frickin' home run at home. Is that the most bizarre thing ever?
He's had seasons like this before where he just can't elevate He can't elevate the ball. It's an interesting thing. Yeah, I'm not really in a time where we really teach elevating the ball. It's just yeah.
It's bizarre.
It is bizarre.
All right, we know we have a ton of Toronto fans that tune into our content. So if any of you are catching today's show, what is your confidence level? Like scale of 1 to 10? I'd love to know.
George Springer had a really nice July, kind of taken back in August, but like, let's go, big dog.
The lineup's not great.
It's not a great lineup.
Huh?
It was great last year. And it's a lot of the same dudes.
I know, but I made this point at the beginning of the year.
I think we said that we got crushed in saying that last year.
But I was
right.
Like
this guy, I feel like we're getting the best of the best right now. And usually that means they're going to come down to earth at some point. Is George Springer going to be a 950 OPS guy? Like, probably not. Love me some Ernie Clement, especially because we're boys now, me and Ernie Clement. So I'm never going to speak poorly. I never did speak poorly about Ernie Clement, by the way. I just said, hey, like the postseason, probably not as indicative as what he is as a player in the regular season. He hit 400 in the postseason.
What do you get, 31 hits? You just dig him because he used to watch you in Rochester, New York play. That's why you're all over.
If you're nice to me, I love you.
Ever since our time on the red carpet together with him, you like have an Ernie Clement poster on your wall now.
I would. Honestly, it's him and Terang, my 2 USA guys that I love. What was I going to say? You just sidetracked me, bro. You sidetracked me. I had something I was going to say.
I'm sure it was earth-shattering.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want the Toronto fans to chime in about where your excitement level is, because I imagine a week and a half ago at the deadline, you were like, great. See you in 2027, whenever that season starts. But
they got it back into the bullpen.
You're back. Well, they traded Hoffman, too, who had been pitching well.
I know. Thank you, guys. Thanks for returning the favor. We gave you Louis, you gave us Hoffman.
Okay. Oh. That's a win for Toronto.
Look at Hoffman's numbers, especially his like under the hood numbers are incredible.
Quick reminder for everybody, use the code BASEBALL2026, 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek and enjoy the game. All right, Pirates. Oh gosh, they keep slip sliding away. Have you seen this? They're 6 games out of the wild card chase. They lost at Miami, which is playing better baseball, 2-0. Yuri Perez has just been filthy over his last 11 starts. But we're going to focus on Paul Skenes, who was fine last night, went 5 innings, gave up the home run, but he threw just 65 pitches. Did that sit okay with the big right-hander?
I mean, you see guys like yell at the manager when they're coming out for a mound visit, and I've never done that. There probably will be a point in my career when I do that, but I'm always straight with Donnie, and he's always straight with me. So he's the manager, and I don't ever really argue with it. And like I said, I understand why. That was it.
Is that the comment you want to hear from your ace?
What was wrong with it?
I'm just curious. Some people say, that's not what Mike Mussina did to Joe Torre. Get back there. That's not what John Lackey did to Mike Scioscia. Heck, we've seen it even within the last couple of years with guys who aren't as decorated as Paul Skenes.
I mean, some of it's for show when they do that. I don't know, man. I think a lot of times you have discussions about what we're going to be doing today. What's my role the rest of the season? The Pirates, I don't want to throw this at Pirates fans, but you're probably not making the postseason. It's gone away from you. You're 58-63. You're 6 games back of a wild card. Your ace pitcher, his velo has been ticking down all year long consistently. The walk rate is up. It doesn't feel right when you watch him pitch. So, I mean, I think that it's right to start thinking about protecting Paul Skenes and maybe taking a look and say, hey, what's going on and how can we fix it? And does that mean, and Paul's not going to like this, but what does that mean about shorting his outings? What does that mean about maybe skipping a start? What does that mean about eventually shutting him down? This guy's pitched a lot, and you want him around, and you want him to be pitching for you when you're in it, and they're just not in it right now. So I'm sure they're having those internal discussions about what are we doing? Because you think about Mizorowski and the Brewers, they've done that to him. They've limited starts. They've tried, we're doing it with Connor Prelip. We're trying to give him as much time in between starts as possible. If we can get him out of there with an early pitch count, we take him out. Like, these things are happening throughout baseball as we're navigating the arm and what it means. I think eventually we're going to get to a point in Pittsburgh where Paul Skenes isn't pitching again this year.
Wow. Let's not bring up Connor, with all due respect, let's not bring up Connor Prelip and a guy who is...
It's relative to... I'm just bringing him up because he's...
Paul Skenes we're talking about, dude. He's 6'6", 260 pounds. He is the guy who, if you were to go to the pitcher store and go shopping for an ace, you'd be like, give me one of those. That's what I want right there. Now, the velocity thing is real. Skenes this year touched 98 or higher 222 times in his first 6 starts this year. 222. By contrast, for the 6th consecutive start, he did not touch 98 miles an hour. The fastest 57 pitches yesterday belonged to Yuri Perez. Skenes couldn't slide one in there. I mean, are we worried that he is hurt and that something is being hidden from us? Number one.
No, if he was hurt, he would not be pitching. If they knew he was hurt, he would not be pitching.
Okay.
If that's what you're asking. And you know what? Put some respect on Connor Prelip's name, okay? He's a big boy himself. I brought him up because I'm talking about pitchers around the league that I know of that are getting limited in their pitch count or given an extra day. I think we're at that point with Paul Skenes right now and where the Pirates are at in the season that, like, you start to think about that. And if you haven't thought about that as a Pirates fan, you're lying to yourself. You only have so many more years of this, dude. Okay, that's the bottom line. I wish it wasn't that way. And maybe I hope it ends up he stays in Pittsburgh. And I don't know, maybe something with the CBA changes things. But from right now, where we stand, you have 3 more years of Paul Skenes. And you want him healthy, and you want the team doing well in those 3 years. This is not the year. It looked like it was going to be the year, and it's gotten away from you. He doesn't look like himself. In my mind, it's like, all right, then we need to make a move here, and we need to figure some things out. I'm not saying you have to shut him down. I'm not saying they're absolutely going to do that. It's being talked about, I'm sure, or at least skipping some starts, something of that nature, some version of that.
Well, adversity strikes players at totally different times in their careers, right? Let's focus on a couple of guys who are in their 40s.
He still has like pretty damn good numbers. We just have held him to such a higher standard. It's the velo to me. That's the indicator. It's not even the numbers, whatever. It's the velo.
And that's a concern. And that can be an issue. And so, like, Max Scherzer hit it at the beginning of his career when he couldn't find home plate. He had a wildness issue that he had to harness, and he did. He discovered that in Detroit. For Justin Verlander, it wasn't until a decade into his career where he started to deal with a couple of kind of nagging-ish injuries in Detroit. He had 1 year, I believe, where his ERA was over 4, and we were like, man, are we ever going to see the MVP Cy Young version of Justin Verlander ever again? And then we did plenty of times. And for Paul Skenes, you're right. Everything is relative. This is the first time we're like, what the hell is the matter with Paul Skenes? It's incredible. And it has been upsetting because he has been a pitching Superman to this point. I actually tuned in last night to the broadcast where they had the uncomfortable discussion of I'm sure you've seen it on the social media about the weight gain and how he is noticeably heavier than when he first came in. I'm going to tell you this. People get heavier. It happens. He is, he was listed at 247 when he got here, and I think now he's listed at 260. So people are outwardly wondering whether or not that has affected his mechanics. And I listened to this during the broadcast. I was like, is this kind of where we are? We're searching for answers. So we're looking for anything that it might be with Paul Skenes as to why he is not what he was the first 2 years.
It's all in play. It's all in play. Can I do a circle of trust question? And do not clip this. This is for listeners and watchers of our show only.
This is for context members only.
Don't you dare clip this. I'm being serious about that. Dan,
That's not Dan.
Well, I'm just saying, don't mark this down.
All right, let's go. Come on.
Okay?
Speed it up. What do you got?
You approach him about an extension right now?
Oh, clip that.
Hey, Paul.
Well, if they did, do you think he would ever take it?
I don't know, dude. I just, you think about when do you approach guys? Like when they're probably feeling insecure about themselves. Not to say he's probably still very confident. That's the kind of guy he is. I love Paul Skenes.
I do
He's
too.
Awesome.
I think he handles himself amazingly well.
Me, you, Paul Skenes in the gym together, just getting yoked up. Is that what we need?
I'll be honest with you. I would like to see him bite back a little bit more. They missed an opportunity last night. I listened to his post-game conversation, which went on for about 5 minutes. Twice he said, I understand why Don Kelly took me out of the game. And nobody asked him, why do you think he took you out of the game? They missed an opportunity. We needed to hear that. Well, why do you think he did? Why are you okay with him taking you out? What was it that happened? Because maybe he would give us a little more insight. And as far as the contract extension, boy, you are dirty. You're thinking like an executive.
Oh, so giving a guy hundreds of $1 million now, that's a bad thing. Okay, sure.
What is the matter with you? You're going to lose your PA card.
I don't have a PA card anymore. I have a PAA card. MLBPAA.
What is that?
Alumni Association.
Oh.
Yeah, I still get to vote on things like the Heart and Hustle Award. Yes, I do.
What does that give you other than voting for the Heart and Hustle Award? What else do you get?
Absolutely nothing, dude. Did he? I mean, yeah. I don't want to get into it.
Wow.
I'm getting tugged both ways right now.
Okay, crab apple.
I'm getting tugged both ways right now, and I don't like it, or maybe I do.
I was going to say, maybe it's nice to be wanted. Okay, so let us in on your Paul Skenes for people that watch him religiously. What do you think is going on? What do you think of Plouffe's idea about approaching him for an extension? Do you think it would even work? I don't at all.
Stop. I just put that out there like a
Make sure you clip that.
Little devil on your shoulder.
Center.
That's all. I just said it. Someone was right
In fact,
here.
the title of today's show should be Plouffe says, go after Skenes now. Can't wait. It's too many words, but you understand what I'm getting at. Dan will work on the title. Lot to get to. We still have one more thing to get to, but first, this word from Trevor Plouffe.
This episode is brought to you by Fanatics Markets, where fans trade on sports. It's simple. You just pick a game and choose an outcome like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. You can buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or let them settle when the event ends. And Fanatics Markets just got even more rewarding with Fan Cash. Now you can earn up to 10% Fan Cash on your trades, win or lose. You can use it across the Fanatics ecosystem for things like trade credit, the authentic apparel, collectibles, tickets, and more. Fan Cash is Fanatics' currency of sport, connecting trading, merchandise, collectibles, and experiences all in one place. Trade, earn fan cash, and unlock more with Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risk of total loss and changing prices. Not good for all investors. Not available in all states. Must be 21 or older. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets, LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets, IB, an introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA.
Trevor, thank you. Finally, the Angels take care of the Texas Rangers, who, of course, hanging on to that third spot in the AL wildcard chase. All this came a few hours after the Halos made some coaching changes. Pitching coach Mike Maddox out. His assistant pitching coach, not his pissing coach, but his assistant pitching coach, also out. The bullpen coach, also out. Interim GM John Mozeliak said the decision came down to the organization not using everything at their disposal.
There's just this undercurrent of trying to get ourselves to using all the different tools that you see a lot of pitchers use today. And so obviously the word tech will probably be said a few times, and just really trying to leverage that in how we help players grow. I do not anticipate any more changes between now and the end of the season.
That would be coaching changes. So Kurt Suzuki, who was sitting right next to Mo on the dais, was like, whew, all right, that's good. I got at least 2 more months left. Does this seem like the right thing to do?
Or do you think Kurt was like, damn it, I could just go home and collect my salary right now.
Early 2-month vacation.
I go back to Maui and live my life.
Right.
That's pretty good, Kurt. What was the question?
Does this seem like the right thing to do with Mighty Mo changing out Mike Maddox?
It seems like a very typical thing to do. You got a new GM, new guy in charge. Is he the GM or the president of baseball ops? Who knows?
He's the interim.
Whatever. You got a new guy coming who's running the show. I'll call it that. It makes sense. Look, the numbers aren't great with the pitching staff. 25th or 24th in ERA, 25th in WHIP, worst MLB worst 508 walks. So a little bit old school type pitching staff. Mike Maddox, clearly probably one of those guys who wants to incorporate everything that's going on, but not a new age type pitching coach. So what does that mean? I mean, it can mean a bunch of different things. It can mean we're not using, our Edgertronic cameras to really go over pitch grips, and we're not looking at arm angles, and we're not looking at, all the things that can come from that. Your spin, all that, induced velocity. You could talk about sequencing, and we're not really looking into that because you get Soriano over to the Blue Jays and they start making him throw his knuckle curve a bunch because that's his best pitch. That to me is not really groundbreaking tech, new age thinking. Oh, you got a great pitch, let's throw it more. Like, okay, that doesn't take a computer to tell you that. But it just seems typical for someone coming in making changes. He wants to make changes. There's something that's happening that's not going well. I mean, I feel like we see it all the time.
So Reed Detmers, it sounded like Mozeliak talked to not only other coaches, but players before making this decision. And Reed Detmers was quoted as saying, listen, if we have it, we might as well use it, about technology. Not saying we didn't use it all the time, but there were definitely times where we could have used it. It's pretty damning. Now, Mike Maddox, who of course
is that damning though? The numbers to me are damning.
Well,
if they okay, this is the thing though. If they were pitching great or even middle of the pack, and they were sometimes using the tech, sometimes being old school, we'd applaud them and be like, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be done. It's the numbers. Don't give me this BS about they weren't using the tech enough. You weren't getting the fucking job done. That's why you got let go. I don't want to. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
No, but for an organization which has been living on the pitching margins for years, whatever
draft better, get better players there.
Nobody's questioning that.
Well, hey, man, that's not tech.
This feels like putting lipstick on a pig to some degree.
Yeah.
So there's no question, but I think this is more than just, hey, let's really shake it up so we can help out our pitching staff. I think this is John Mozeliak. I'm curious. Do you think he's going to stay past December when his contract's up?
Is that his decision?
Well, No. I mean, everybody's got a boss.
Yeah.
But do you think that he
does
will
he want to stay? I'm sure he wants to run a team. That's like what he does for a living.
It feels like there's finally an adult in the room. And I know that Mo's last couple of years in St. Louis, like fans were like, get out. Thank God Chaim Bloom is here. But he was there a long time, too. I think the Angels need a little bit of this. I think this is kind of a wake-up call. I think the trade deadline, whether those moves work out or not for them long-term, it felt like there was a decent plan in place. And, I mean, look at how happy Swilly was.
I am in. I'm fine with the firings and like moving on and trying something different because it's not working. But that's the reason. Don't tell me it's like, oh, they weren't using the tech and doing. They didn't get results, dude. That is the name of the game. It's performance. Performance trumps all. It is a performance-based league. It's not. He wasn't doing it the right bullshit. It's about the numbers. So just come on and say that.
Do you remember the one year where they drafted all pitchers?
I do. 2021, I think it was.
Something like that. We need to go back and look at that draft.
It's not good. It's they've written articles about it.
Yeah. All right.
Talk about the guy who got hired.
Yeah. Crespi High. Crespi High.
Tim Levesque, Seahouse. Same high school as me. I used to watch this guy pitch. He was a little bit younger than my brother. Maybe a year or two younger than my brother, or older than my brother, excuse me. And I would go and watch him pitch. He was like Mission League Pitcher of the Year. He was a stud. And then my brother came in and became that guy under the late, great Scott Mucky. It's really cool. And he's been working with under Mosaic and the Cardinals organization for a long time. And now he's got a shot. I texted my brother last night. I said, Tim Levesque, man, new pitching coach of the Angels. How cool is that?
Go Crespi.
Seahouse, baby.
It's cool. By the way, Mike Maddox worked for John Mozeliak as a pitching coach in St. Louis, I think for 5 seasons or so. He had been
Wasn't that why Mosaic got out of St. Louis, because he wasn't using the tech and he was an old school guy? What's damn, bro? Switching sides.
Maddox had been a major league pitching coach every season with a bunch of different teams since 2003. All right, Mikey, go enjoy a little bit of vacation downtime with your family, I suppose. And I'm sure we'll see you at a camp somewhere near you next year. Just guessing. All right, we're back at it again on Thursday. We cannot wait for our one-of-a-kind producer, Dan Rourke, the uber-talented Trevor Plouffe. I am Chris Rose. We'll see you Thursday here on Baseball Today, presented to you by T-Mobile.